Hello and welcome back, everyone, to Quake 2 on Rocket Rabbit Commentaries. And in this episode, we are going to be continuing on through the through the jail unit of Quake 2. And yeah, we just picked up the security pass after going through this, the sewage system. So now we have to go deliver the security pass over to the other side of the cell block in order to get the commander's, no, not commander's head, that's in the lab. What is the key that we're looking for? Is it the pyramid key? No. We actually need the security pass so that we can bypass the pyramid security at the bottom of the pyramid lift. Also, there's another Hyperblaster in the cage.
Hyperblaster.
We are at very low health.
That's alright. This loading screen may actually constitute a save state.
Bam! Bam! God damn.
Yeah.
The super shotgun is so fucking satisfying in Quake 2. I will go so far as to say that it is the second most satisfying shotgun that I have ever played with. The most satisfying shotgun I've ever played with is the combat shotgun in Doom 2016, actually. I know everyone absolutely loves, adores, and worships the super shotgun in that game because it's a bit overpowered. But I say to you, no. The combat shotgun, at least on Hurt Me Plenty, has the ability to go through the entire game with it being your only used weapon. And I know this because I did most of a Hurt Me Plenty run with just using the combat shotgun. It was very nice.
You know it has a great shotgun, Mr. Gerdat. Resident Evil 4.
Well, let me think. Well, that's the thing. I've never actually played Resident Evil 4, so I wouldn't have any a particular experience with that shotgun.
Okay,
And
so it is
the one
in
that you
the
did,
village.
Was using the Ditman mini. Was using Ditman in the Chicago typewriter. So
For Rocket Rabbit Commentaries playthrough, but for Brain Scratch Commentaries, I'm pretty sure that Some Call Me Johnny was going into the cabin to trigger the cutscene that makes the dudes surround the place and you get the shotgun on the second floor. Yeah, that shotgun is your first glimpse of what power feels like in that game, because it will one-shot heads, and it is terribly exciting, of course, to decapitate zombies in Resident Evil 4.
much like this backing track.
Oh, yeah. Or having zombies shooting blindly because their central nervous system has become compromised.
Again, these are not zombies, they are cyborgs.
Well, they are behaving like stupid zombie cyborgs that do not have brains and do stupid things as a result.
And ammo pack. Unfortunately, because of the way that my audio editing is, we will not have any more music for the rest of this segment. Oh well. Press the button. More adrenaline. I want to save that for after we need it, because Leaper Ambush. This is a new enemy type for us. They're the Leaper. You want to be using your heavier weapons against them, specifically because they are actually really difficult to deal with without using your heavier weapons. I recommend either the chain gun or the Hyperblaster for them specifically, as they have relatively high amounts of HP.
Yeah, heavy weapons are definitely ideal. Just end the fight quickly, and then they can't hurt you as much.
Yeah.
Because we're still living in the days where health has to be dropped off like little pieces of candy. We will pick up each of these pieces of candy, but only if we have room for a piece of candy.
One of the quickly identifying features that'll make you respect the Leapers is the fact that they actually come with their own relatively unique walking sound effect whilst they're in the area. Plus, they actually have their own breathing sound too.
Yeah.
That is very audible.
You know, that kind of distinct breathing that can only be caused by one creature that has a shitload of fucking HP.
I think that they got that idea specifically from Quake 1 with the Shamblers, but I'm not entirely sure. It's been forever since I played Quake 1. And I bring up Quake 1 because I recently went and finished off a run-through of Doom 3. And I gotta say, Doom 3 really, really wants to be Half-Life 1. It does. Like, the first several hours of Doom 3 are just Half-Life 1 again. Now, that's not to say that that's a bad thing, to be perfectly honest, because I enjoy the first hour of Half-Life 1. I've never played anything further past it except for the PS2 version, and, well, sorry, the PS1 version, and I don't remember most of the PS1 version of Half-Life 1. I also played the PS1 version of Quake 2, and it omits, like, 2 full units.
Dang.
I forget what units, though. I'm pretty sure we don't go through the lab, like, at all in the Quake 1 port. Or is it the lab or the hangar that we end up scoping out? Not sure. Well, technically, that lab is part of the hangar.
Well, it is nice when games at least remind you of other games you've played. You know, even if like it's hard to compare like a BioShock first-person shooter to, like, as I knock over things off my stuff, to like a Call of Duty type first-person shooter. That it's the summation of atmosphere, movement speed, healing system, all that stuff that will
atmosphere very much just explicitly, because that's why I do the Half-Life 1 to Doom 3 comparison all the time. Because yeah, Doom 3 feels like it's trying to rip off Half-Life 1's atmosphere very explicitly. I know we're still on a Mars base, but yeah, it really does feel like Half-Life 1.
But where does Half-Life 1 take place? I'm sorry.
There is some ammo in these prison cells, but we're mostly capped out on ammo at the moment. So, continuing on we go.
So where does Half-Life 1 take place, Mr. Gurdett?
Half-Life 1 takes place a majority of the time in the Black Mesa Research Center. Because of that, well, the big setting is actually the shit that's going around the Half-Life research, the Black Mesa Research Center, not the research center itself. The research center itself is just a bunch of the window dressing. It's more in line with the horror and survival atmosphere that Half-Life 1 has that Doom 3 is trying to rip.
Precisely. Lots of loading
screens.
All
right, and here we go for our first actual boss fight. Also, Doom 3's bosses are shit.
Yeah.
Grenade launcher, as well as some jacket armor. You don't need to jump over there. If you time a run through appropriately, you'll be able to get through the lasers without getting hurt. But I prefer jumping as it's much safer.
These lasers
yes,
are
these
above.
Security systems are instant death, which is why I'm saving
Jesus
here.
Christ.
But if you crouch and walk under them, you get to avoid the instant death lasers.
That is how low you crouch? You crouch? It's like limbo depth.
Alright. Here we have a heavy infantry unit.
I am boss. I shoot to kill.
No, these guys are not the bosses. Although, now that I've actually gone through and finished Doom 2, this looks a lot like the first boss-style arena that Doom 2 has got.
Oh, so that security system was just on the path to the boss fight.
Yeah.
Damn it. Well, better get ready. Use those safe
it is
states.
the Strog Tank.
Huh.
The Strog Tank is our first actual boss. He has got several different attacks on him. He has a chain gun on his lower torso. He has a rocket launcher, which is the only thing that he'll be showing off during this fight, on his arm, and I think he can also deal contact damage. But if you'll notice, because we're constantly running, we are just significantly faster than what he's able to deal with most of the time.
Oh yeah.
And this is why you've got access to the grenade launcher, because the grenade launcher makes this fight really, really easy. Just, use the environment to your advantage. Make sure you grenade him once or twice in between, hiding between each pillar, and there you go.
Yep.
We didn't even take damage from him.
So
the Strog Tank is honestly not it's not really a good quote unquote boss, but it's really simple and fun to fight. So I qualify it as an okay boss.
So when Mr. Strog was asked if he wanted a prosthetic leg, Mr. Strog said no.
Actually, Mr. Strog said, "Hey, we got this concept design that we never used for Doom 2. Can we use it here?" And so they did. And we know this because they end up using that concept for Doom 3 as well. Progressing on to the next unit, the mines. I dislike this next unit.
Okay, Microsoft
We can
Sam.
do that. Hey, that is not Microsoft Sam. He's got way too deep a voice for that.
It kind of.
It's supposed to be similar to Microsoft Sam, but it's not.
I would conjecture that is Microsoft Sam with a voice filter.
I honestly think it's one of the developers with a voice filter. Like a majority of the Strogg are supposed to be, because they're cyborgs.
Yeah.
No, they're Hyperblaster down there. Yeah, we can never open that front door, which is fine because this is a one-way trip. So.
Stand still. I'm trying to bop you.
Like this. Boink.
Yeah, see, that's me bopping.
And
Whack.
oh, we missed the second shot.
Whack.
Another game I've actually been playing recently is Remnant from the Ashes that I picked up somewhat recently.
Nice.
I'm loving it. It's effectively okay. I don't want to use the Dark Souls terminology because it has Souls-like elements in it, but it's so much better than Dark Souls because it's not constantly telling me that I'm terrible and killing me for being terrible. I'm still dying because I'm terrible, but it's not the game's fault that I'm dying.
It's a funny thing that we've come to equate games that kill you a lot with Dark Souls because that's what Dark Souls did to people. Because it was so cryptic, because it was so secret, you're gonna die a lot. Now, it seems that games have embraced the wisdom of letting the player know, hey, it's okay to die. It really is. Because as long as you learn something, then it was worth it.
Yeah, the big thing that always puts me off about Dark Souls' death system is the fact that you lose so fucking much.
Not really.
And it might honestly just be the fact that that it's a huge goddamn number that's my issue. Because if you lose like 10,000 souls, you may as well just restart your fucking playthrough.
No, grind. You just grind it back.
Yeah, but that grind is gonna be what, an hour or two?
Well, yeah, but don't reset the goddamn play clock because then you got to kill all the goddamn stupid bosses all over again.
Ugh. I don't want to spend 2 hours in an area just grinding back the stuff that I lost because an off-screen guy decided to throw a flaming barrel at me.
Well, of course.
It's not nice of him to be there.
Well, that's because in Dark Souls you can only get checkpoints by killing bosses. Okay, well that's... What is a checkpoint? Just a position where you load the game.
Bonfire.
A bonfire. Well, in this game, by comparison, it uses a save state system. The game does not keep going after you die. The game assumes that you survive.
Yes, and to be perfectly honest, I'm starting to get really spoiled with modern video games with one particular thing. Autosave has spoiled the fuck out of me. Because I went back to play, I told the story somewhat recently, a bit earlier, that I went back to go play Doom 1 and 2 somewhat recently. And the fact that they didn't have an autosave, but instead had a level select reset thing going, oh, that irked the fuck out of me. It really did. And then I remembered, wait a minute, that's how this game always was. It didn't actually have an autosave system. At the start of every level, you were expected to save your own progress. The game wouldn't do it for you. And I had totally forgotten that. You see, Quake 2 actually has an autosave. It does. But the autosave is actually so much significantly better than Doom and Doom 2's that it bothers to record what your current health, what your ammo, what your loadout ammo, all that interesting state stuff. Quake 2 bothers to record all that in each of its saves. Whereas Doom and Doom 2 just say, no, you're starting all over from this level. Enjoy.
Yeah, and that sucks. And well,
although it sucks, it's the whole reason it's there is because Doom and Doom 2 were actually designed with speed competition a little bit in mind. So when you die in the campaign, it treats it as though you're dying from level select as opposed to a continuous experience.
I see.
That being said, it also makes level design very specifically a lot easier and more linear than it was definitely supposed to be for Doom 1 and 2. Not for the master levels of Doom 1. Master levels of Doom 1 are bullshit hard to the point where if you don't know how specific movement patterns work in Doom 1, the second master level will be a stopping point for you. I know because it happened exactly to me where I had to figure out, okay, there's this not bottomless pit at the very start of the second level in the master levels where you have to go down there in order to actually get one of the keys. But down there is an environmental hazard, and they don't give you the hazard protection suit unless you find a particular secret that I'm missing. But I checked all around the upper area, and unless there's another button that I'm missing that I simply can't find, you do not get hazard protection for this part of the level. And then there's an arch file after you solve that puzzle. So no, fuck master levels. I am considering running Doom 2 for the channel, to be perfectly honest. I actually had some pretty good fun while I was going through Doom 2.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to run Doom 1 specifically because the 3 episodes for Doom 1 are not connected together, even in the re-release. Whereas all 3 episodes for Doom 2 are actually connected, so.
Well, continuity is good. I agree.
Continuity is very good, especially when the continuity isn't something that the player has to struggle in order to obtain. I know that there's dudes down there because I've played this game so much, but unfortunately they're all the way the fuck up here.
You know, it's funny. You find a secret once, you know it for the rest of your life. A secret eludes you, it irks the fucking hell out of you, and it keeps you stuck.
Yeah. And in the next part, we'll continue on with the mines area.
Woo.